Barton, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Travis. How's it going?
It is going great, my man. As you might know, and I'm sure you know, the situation here in Tuscaloosa with the quarterback situation at Alabama, Jalen Hurts, as I'm sure you probably caught a glimpse of over the weekend in the spring game, Tonga Viola, not able to go with that injured hand. Right now, with the way things sit, if you're Jalen Hurts, do you stay or do you go, Barton?
Well, I think you could make a case for a lot of different directions in this one. I think if I'm Jalen Hurts, and my expectation is Tua wins that job. That's been my expectation since the national championship game. I was in the camp he should have been playing a long time before that. But so with that expectation, the other sort of part of that expectation, I always expected the Tua would start this year and Jalen would stick around and be a backup and be ready and potentially play in spot duty and situational packages and be the backup in case Tua gets hurt. Alabama obviously is still going to have every opportunity to win a national championship. And then, in December or January, whenever he's graduated, then he's got a grad transfer opportunity we can play right away. Jalen has struck me as that type of guy, that type of team-oriented guy that, hey, look, I've had my opportunity for 2 years, and if Tua wins the job, congratulations, I'll be right there behind him. I'm bouncing the next year, but this year is my time to back him up. With the quotes from his dad coming out, that was a little bit surprising to me that he could potentially transfer this year, and frankly, I'd still be surprised if he did. I think he sticks around. I think that there's a different number 2 quarterback in 2019.
You touched on the comments by Varian Hurts, in which he stated to Bleacher Report that he feels like Jalen would be the best free agent in the history of college football should he transfer. In your opinion, what would the market be like if it played out that way for Jalen Hurts?
I think it'd be a strong market. I think it would be – I don't think he has to be in an offense that is run-focused on the quarterback position. I think he can play in just about any offense. He's better suited for an offense that gives him an opportunity to use his legs. I also don't think he is, the best free agent of all time or whatever the quote was. I mean, he may not be the best free agent this cycle. I'm not sure Joe Burrow at Ohio State isn't a better fit for a lot of teams because of his ability to throw the football. There's a lot of guys out there that will have some opportunities, and I think it'll be. But that said, there's few teams that would need a quarterback that wouldn't poke around at the opportunity to get Jalen Hurts on campus. He could help any team in college football. I'm convinced of that. I think he's that good, but at the same time, he's got his flaws, and there is, I think, maybe even a couple quarterbacks out there that some other teams might want more.
We're going to talk about a Tonga Viola now with Barton Simmons, the director of scouting for 247sports.com, but it's Taulia, the younger brother of Tua, that I wanted to ask you about because you were at an event over the weekend up in the Nashville area in which both Taulia Tagovailoa and fellow 2019 Alabama commitment Paul Tyson essentially threw side by side, if I'm correct on that. And I just wanted to get your thoughts because when you look at the rankings, there just isn't really much that separates these guys in terms of the composite 247 and what you see at 247sports.com. But what did you see from both of them over the weekend?
Yeah, they're very different quarterbacks. They're both pro style. Look, Taulia is a little bit more, I guess, mobile, but I don't think he rushed for more than 200 yards last year. I mean, he's not a dual threat guy. He is an in the pocket quarterback, but he looks to me to be a little bit more comfortable outside the pocket. He looks to me to be a little bit looser, a little more fluid athletically than Paul Tyson, and that's to be expected. I mean, Taulia is 5'11", 200 pounds. Paul Tyson is 6'4", 215. And so I think because of that, to me, Taulia is the better quarterback right now. Just looks a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more command. But Paul Tyson has the higher upside. That's not a question. He's a big, strong kid. He's got a big arm, and if there's one of these guys that gets drafted in the first round, it's probably more likely to be Paul Tyson. And yet, I think my hunch right now is if one of these guys is to have a better college career, my money would probably be on Taulia. So it's an interesting battle. It's an interesting comparison. I think it's a group to be really excited about for Alabama, considering this is not a great quarterback year in the class of 2019. And they got two good ones. They got two really solid quarterbacks, and with two slightly different skill sets and even body types. And so I think Alabama will be, it'll be nice to have both of those guys on campus to strengthen that quarterback room. And I also am anxious to see how they develop, because I think Paul Tyson probably has, last year was really his first time full-time starting. I'll be anxious to see what he looks like as a senior. So there's a lot of ability between the two of those guys, and they're both very unique.